Your AI assistant is on vacation in a data center 2,000 miles away. Every question you type, every document you paste, every idea you brainstorm, it is all being shuttled across the internet to someone else's servers and back. But what if it lived right in your laptop? What if your AI was not some cloud service with a monthly subscription, but a tool you actually own? That is not a hypothetical anymore. Over the past year, running powerful AI models locally has gone from a niche hobby for GPU enthusiasts to something regular developers can set up in about 10 minutes. And the implications are bigger than you might think. It starts with a tool called Ollama. Here is how simple it is. You install Ollama. Type a command like pull llama 3.1, and within minutes you have a fully working large language model running on your own computer. No API keys, no cloud bills, no terms of service accepting that your data might be used for training. And if you pair Ollama with a companion project called OpenWebUI, you get something that looks and feels almost exactly like ChatGPT, a clean chat interface in your web browser. Except every single word of intelligence being generated comes from your own machine. Now, to be fair, your laptop is not going to outperform a cluster of $100,000 GPUs. Nobody is claiming that. A local model with fewer parameters will not win a benchmark shootout against the latest frontier model from a well-funded AI lab. But that misses the point. The breakthrough here is not that local AI is better. It is that it is yours. You can use it offline, on a plane, in a cabin with no cell service, at 3 in the morning when you do not want to wait for a server to respond. Your data never leaves your machine. And this gets even more interesting when you bring it into your development workflow. Google released a model called Llama 2, specifically the 9 billion parameter version, and developers quickly discovered they could run it inside Visual Studio Code through Ollama. Suddenly, you have an AI code assistant sitting right in your text editor, suggesting changes, explaining code, answering questions, and none of your source code is being uploaded anywhere. Think about what that means. If you work on proprietary software, this is huge. Every AI coding tool that runs in the cloud is, at minimum, sending your code through their servers. Even if they promise not to store it, you are trusting them. With a local model, trust is not part of the equation. Your code stays your code. And this is the same ecosystem we talked about a moment ago. Ollama is the common thread. It is the engine that makes all of this work, whether you are chatting with it through a web interface or using it to review pull requests at midnight. Here is where things get technically really exciting. For as long as language models have existed, they have had a frustrating habit. You ask them for structured data, and they give you prose wrapped in polite conversation. You say, "Give me this as a comma-separated list," and they reply with "absolutely. Here is your list, and let me know if there is anything else I can help with today." Useful in a chat, useless in a pipeline. Ollama recently added a feature called structured outputs, and it changes the game. You can now tell a local model to follow a specific JSON schema, and it actually will. You define exactly what fields you want, what types they should be, and the model constrains its output to match. The Python library supports it through Pydantic. The JavaScript library has been updated, and you can even use it with a raw curl command. You send a request that says, "I want a response with a name, a capital city, and a list of languages," and you reliably get back clean JSON that your code can immediately parse. This matters because it turns local AI from something that is fun to play with into something you can actually build systems around. When a model gives you reliable structured output, it stops being a chatbot and starts being a data pipeline component. And running that pipeline locally means you are not paying per API call and you are not waiting on network latency. But what if you do not even have a powerful machine? Maybe your laptop is thin. Maybe it has no GPU. Maybe you are working on an old Chromebook. There is now a peer-to-peer network that lets you run large language models, including Llama 3, on someone else's computer completely free. Think of it like BitTorrent, But instead of sharing movie files, people are sharing compute. This is a fascinating mirror of the early internet. BitTorrent broke the model of centralized file distribution. Now the same pattern is emerging for AI. Instead of one company owning all the inference infrastructure and charging you for every query, you are tapping into a distributed network of volunteers who are contributing idle GPU time. Is it perfect? No. Latency is unpredictable. You are running your model on a stranger's hardware, and reliability is not guaranteed. But it represents something important. The spectrum of AI deployment is widening. It is not just your powerful laptop versus expensive cloud. It is a continuum. Your phone, your desktop, your office server, someone's gaming GPU across the ocean. All of it can be your AI. And here is my favorite vision for the future. A project from Mozilla called Llama file lets you package an entire language model into a single executable file. One file. You double-click it, and you have a running AI. Version 0.8 recently shipped, and it is wild. No installers, no package managers, no environment setup. The model is embedded inside the executable itself. It is like putting a small data center inside a file and handing it to someone on a USB stick. Think about how radically different this is from anything else in software. A PDF does not need a runtime environment to open, but AI has always required servers, frameworks, dependencies. Llama file is trying to make AI portable in the way a Word document is portable. The dream is dead simple. AI that spreads like a document, not like a server deployment. We are watching something rare in technology, a genuine shift in who controls the tool, not just who uses it. Local AI means your assistant works offline, respects your privacy, costs nothing per query, and runs on hardware you already own. It is not replacing the cloud. It is not replacing the frontier models. But it gives you something the cloud never can: ownership. Thanks for listening. If this kind of deep dive into the tools reshaping how we build and think appeals to you, tap subscribe. We have got a lot more coming.